Hey everybody, it's December 18th, 2008. I am Sonic Suns. It's one day since the Project for Awesome. Awesome stuff. My next randomly chosen topic is gun control. So, it's a messy issue, isn't it? No one can seem to find much agreement on anything. Can we agree on one thing, that crime is a complicated thing? It's a messy thing, you know? There's a lot of reasons why crime happens. I mean, if you really want to dive down to the thing, and that's of course what the whole issue of gun control is about, is how to prevent crime, whether by, increasing or decreasing the restrictiveness of gun laws, etc., etc. There can be various motivations, or certain prejudices in society. There can be people in poverty. You might be more likely, you might be driven to crime out of desperation. It's possible. Not that that excuses every poor person, because some of them are just, not being fair about it. But, it's certainly going to deserve you some sympathy if you really are stealing, what you need to survive. Or probably more in general could just, create more frustrated individuals who are more likely to lead to a life of crime, even if it's not stealing what you need to survive, sort of things like that. And then just, how people feel about the government, how the police force, whether they think it's corrupt or not, whether it is corrupt or not. And general cultural attitudes, and how quickly someone will turn to violence when whatever various factors that lead to violence are beset upon them, and blah blah blah, and stuff. So it's hard to find direct correlation between gun ownership and crime, which is what I was looking up just a moment ago. I was looking at everything, and there's a lot of statistics everywhere, and it's hard to pinpoint stuff, Everything can be twisted, it seems. Like there's a thing like, there's so-and-so many states that have the worst crime, worst violent crime. Most of those states have restrictive gun laws, with the implication that, those gun laws have made things worse. And the argument there, of course, being of fewer law-abiding citizens have guns, and they can do less of a job in defending themselves when, violent criminals come around. This is the idea. But I was looking at it, I was like, maybe it's just the other way. Maybe there are other factors that cause these so-and-so many states to have really high crime, and it would in fact be worse, but thanks to our restrictive gun laws, it's somewhat better than what it otherwise would be. Is another idea. I don't know. Generally, I've been an advocate of gun control myself, but reasonable gun control. I don't know if we necessarily should take guns away from everyone ever. I mean, if we had peace on earth and everything, that'd be great. And no need for guns, but in the meantime, there are criminals, and you could defend yourself from a criminal, from a thing. If you're law-abiding, and you had a training, and your guns are registered, things like that. Okay. The issues are messy, but that's just kind of a couple points here that I think I can make pretty clearly, even when other things are hard to digest. The statistics, for instance. Okay. Point number one, or argument number one that I've heard from the pro-gun side, is guns don't kill people, people kill people. Which, yes, but people with guns kill people. If you don't believe me, ask the military. There's, they run out into the battlefield. What do you have? You have yo-yos? No. Baseball bats? Slightly deadlier, but you go out on the battlefield with a gun, right? And a tank and a helicopter, maybe, but, there's a reason we give guns to these people, is so they can kill people, You make a very effective killer that way. You can shoot people at a distance. You can shoot several people. You can, blah, blah, blah. This is the reason guns were invented in the first place. And you can turn this around any which way you want, like nuclear bombs, for instance. Everyone agrees, almost everyone agrees, that nuclear bombs should be regulated. You should not be able to go into your Walmart and buy a nuclear bomb. Right? But suppose I just said, look, nuclear bombs don't kill people. People kill people. Yes, people with nuclear bombs are far more likely to commit mass murder than the people without nuclear bombs. You want the bomb to only be in the hands of, a, let's hope, competent government authority, or some sort of authority. Somebody that would not, randomly use this crap. And if it's available at your local Walmart, someone with less sanity than is average is going to get his hands on one of these at some point. Right? Furthermore, think of the useful uses for guns. Someone gets in your home with the intent of robbing you or killing you, and you're defending yourself, you're defending your family with what, say, the pro-gun people, a gun is the idea, right? Well, guns don't defend people, people defend people. Yes, but the idea is that a person with a gun is far more equipped to defend himself than a person without a gun. So, the whole statement, though it sounds nice, it's like you're taking guns out of the equation. Like, the gun is an important part of this whole thing. Right. A couple other points. The Constitution. Some people say that there's an inalienable constitutional right by the Second Amendment. You can have a gun. Second Amendment is very clear, people. It says, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's a pretty close quote. Now, some people only take the second half of this sentence. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Therefore, I can have whatever guns I want. Of course, for that matter, you could just as well say arms, which can mean any weapon at all, which gets into nuclear bomb territory if you really want to stretch the logic. Secondly, you're ignoring the first part of the sentence. If I say to you, you can have, if you give me $1, you can have my umbrella. And then you take my umbrella and don't give me anything. I'm like, hey, where's my $1? Like, you don't need to give you $1. Yes, you do. Like, no, here's your quote. Quote, you can have my umbrella, unquote. Like, yes, but you're missing the first half of the sentence. It's got to be like, this is not even like, a separate part of the Constitution, 3 paragraphs down or something. This is the same freaking sentence. A well-regulated militia can have guns. And if you are a member of a well-regulated militia, please have whatever guns your well-regulated militia rules allow you to have, etc. The Constitution, I should note, does not say anything about poorly regulated militia. It does not say anything about regular people either. So it does not prohibit regular people from having guns, merely fails to guarantee them the right to have guns. You could say there's an implied right. There's another amendment which says, there are various rights that people have which are not written down. Maybe by that line of reasoning you could say you have a right to a gun. Maybe. But the Second Amendment itself, people, only says well-regulated militia. You've got to read the entire sentence. And one more thing, enforcement. This is funny. I saw someone once say, I'm surprised, I can't believe that anyone thinks that criminals would give up their guns voluntarily. And I'm like, I can't believe that you believe the anti-gun laws are supposed to be voluntary. It's supposed to be compulsory, like a law, Like if someone's, I don't know, going, 120 miles an hour down the highway in a 50-mile-an-hour zone, well, you send in the cops, and if the flashing lights don't slow them down, we can send in more cops, and we can send in a helicopter, and we can send in, like, a roadblock, and we can freaking, shoot his engine out with a shotgun. I don't know, but you do stuff to physically prevent the person from violating the law, right? Certainly violating the law at that extreme. Endangering lives and such. Well, okay, the idea is we would hunt down the people who violate the laws. We would, prohibit them physically from having the guns. We'd find them. We'd, arrest them. We'd throw them in jail. We would follow up tips. We'd get evidence. We have, like, searches and wiretaps and informants and everything, Maybe that's difficult, but that's the idea. This is the same reason why you never hear of the latest bazooka killing, because criminals don't have bazookas. And why? It's not because they don't want bazookas. I'm sure they would love to have one. And it's not because I've decided to follow the law. No, they're criminals. They don't follow the law. It's because the bazookas are so flipping illegal that the criminals can't flipping get their hands on them. They're so well regulated, right? You can't just, you can't find, not even like the black market. You're just like, yeah, give me a gun. You can find a gun easy enough. You can find drugs easy enough. Bazookas, not so much. The idea is to make the guns as hard to find as the bazookas. So nobody will have them, except, the military or whatever. And the idea is that nobody would have handguns except the cops in the military. And maybe that's hard. I don't know. And maybe overall guns are good for you, and maybe, statistically you're more likely to defend yourself. There's also some other issues of why gun ownership might be a good thing. But on these couple points, I just want to make all that clear. Okay? It's a little starting point for the debate. Thanks for watching. See you later.